What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my tag team partner, Tim from Pro Wrestling Unlimited. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Just hanging out and chilling, I guess.
Yeah. Here we are on a Thursday night. So once again, thank you, Tim, for making the last minute call.
No problem.
Jump on. It's become like a weekly routine now. It's like, hey, man, are you available right now?
Well, that's why when you asked me what's going on, I'm like, well, I got not much to say since the last time I was on.
I know. So we do have a lot to talk about. So yes, we're recording this on Thursday night, and we will premiere this Friday morning on the In The Kliq YouTube channel. So if you're watching this live right now or on the premiere broadcast, if you want to call it that, thank you for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Go ahead, leave a comment. I will be chiming in on the comments as well as I'm doing my work. But yes, go ahead, leave a comment on the side there, and I will go ahead and respond as fast as I can and be part of the conversation. And first off, Tim, hope I like my new shirt, man. My demolition shirt. It just came in the other day. So that's what
they're back in with WWE.
I know. I saw that. So what happened was a few weeks ago, Demolition was up here in Northern California. They were at Stockton Con, big convention in the city of Stockton. I went Saturday to meet Joe Hendry, the current TNA champion. That was really cool. Demolition was doing Sunday. I just couldn't make it out there, unfortunately. I was kicking myself. I was bummed. I really wanted to meet them. And the timing of it, I think like a few days prior is when they announced like they signed that new Legends deal with WWE, which I was excited for. But then I was thinking, oh, I wonder, will they have to close like maybe their pro wrestling tee shop, or you know how that goes? Like sometimes when you sign
I don't think with a Legends deal though.
Okay. Because that's right. Stone Cold still has his open. Never mind. What am I thinking? But anyway, I went to the pro wrestling tee shop for Demolition because, you know, they're one of the all-time greats for WWE tag teams. And so I got a couple of their shirts. I got the Joe Hendry shirt, Adam Cole shirt. I like to try to get t-shirts of people that I grew up watching, was a fan of, or people that I've interviewed. So case in point, Adam Cole, who was on the show a couple weeks ago now at this point. So check out that interview from a couple episodes back. But yeah, so I was a little bummed to miss them because I was like, oh, that's so cool. They're one of the all-time great tag teams. We'd love to get a photo with them. You know, they're getting older in age, and who knows? Whenever there's opportunity, like case in point, a few years ago, the NWO were at Stockton Con. All three. It was Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Sean Waltman, X-Pac. And they were all there. I walked by, I didn't get the photo or pay for it. I think it was kind of pricey. I think for like all three, it was like $100 or something. In hindsight, I should have just done it, threw it on the credit card, because then unfortunately Scott Hall passed away, you know, not too soon after. So I'm like, I'm forever kicking myself. I like those three guys I grew up watching in the Attitude Era. So, but yes, with that being said, same thing with Demolition, but I could not physically get out there again for it's a little bit of a drive for me. It's like over an hour 15 minutes to get to Stockton from my place. So do back to back. It was a busy weekend. So anyway, I get the shirts now, and hopefully they come back soon or do some other appearance in the Bay Area. I would love to officially meet them. And I'm excited with the new deal with WWE. Like, I'm sure we'll get some action figures, some new merch,
hopefully
all that stuff. I'll geek out with all that stuff. So
but yeah, no, that reminds me of one of my best friends. Right before Roddy Piper passed away, he was doing some sort of a convention.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly where he said it was, but like he was all ready to go. He wanted to go, and his girlfriend at the time was like, no, I'm not feeling it. He's like, okay, we won't go. Maybe he'll come next time. And then he passed away.
No.
And like Piper was his favorite. He's got Piper everything.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. He's like, I kicked myself in the butt, and I'm not even with her anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh man. Lesson learned. If you have an opportunity to meet one of your favorite, whatever it is, musician, wrestler, comedian, entertainer of sorts, do it. That way, no regrets down the road. So, but yes, so here we are, Tim. It's for the Kliqsters watching right now. It's probably Friday morning or Friday at some point. And I needed a few days to kind of process everything that's happened in WWE in the last week. What a week it's been for WWE. First things first, let's talk about it. This past Saturday, WWE Elimination Chamber in Toronto, which now I was going to say for this generation, for probably kids or wrestling fans under the age of 30, I would say This is their Bash at the Beach 1996.
Oh,
That's the best way I can sum this up, is because for me, growing up in the 90s, Bash at the Beach 1996 was a big pay-per-view, WCW pay-per-view, which we all know was the night Hulk Hogan turned heel and officially formed the NWO with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash with the Outsiders, and really changed the whole wrestling landscape. And then jumping ahead to this past weekend, March 1st, 2025, Elimination Chamber in Toronto for WWE. The night John Cena turned heel and aligned himself with the final boss, The Rock. And man, there's so many different topics we can get into with that. So this is going to be a large portion of this podcast, talking about that, giving our thoughts and what can happen next. And also, let's talk about Elimination Chamber, review the show itself, and talk about the fallout on Raw this week. We got a new champion on Raw this week, and now the whole landscape on the road to WrestleMania is changing. So much to break down. So first up, I do want to say I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit, because Saturday was Elimination Chamber. I didn't watch it live. I was at the Oakland Arena watching AEW Collision live and in person. Had a lot of fun. It was great to see all those matches. But man, what a moment. What a time to not watch something live. Oh, yeah. And I was trying to do my best to avoid spoilers. But
so the worst part about that is I had a couple people go, so I wasn't watching live because just for other different reasons. I had friends who were like, I wasn't watching live, but then I heard the Cena thing, was like, oh no, I want to go back and watch it. Well, the issue with Peacock is the post-show and the pre-show are all now one thing. The post-show, the main show, and the pre-show.
Yes.
And so they don't put the replay up, or you can't go back until the post-show is done.
Yep.
Now. And so you only get like 2 hours of rewind or something like that off of live. So if you go and they're like, oh, they're still at the tail end of the press conference, you try to rewind, you're going to rewind maybe partway through the men's chamber or something. And it's like, for people that want to go back and watch, like, you have this big, huge moment. And then people are like, I can't rewind to go back and see it. And for like I think it was on the East Coast, it didn't get re-uploaded or re-put on for replay on Peacock till like well after 1:30 a.m. on the East Coast or something that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a thing. And listen, kudos to Netflix. Like, as soon as Monday Night Raw is over, it is ready to be replayed right away on the broadcast. So I love Netflix. Like, if I miss it late or I tune in late and I want to watch the beginning again, I can just totally do it. Hit refresh and then hit play, and it'll start over Raw right away. So I don't get it. Like, Netflix and Peacock, they got two different servers. You know, whoever, someone on Peacock's need to talk to someone at Netflix and copy their technology.
Like, the thing with Peacock, it's usually only about a 30-minute gap ish. But because the post show is now is all part of the whole thing, now it's just a whole 6-hour broadcast at once. You have to wait till the post show's over before they upload it. It's not like main show ends, then they go to do that with the post show, a separate thing like it used to be on Peacock. The post show was a separate, video.
Well, is the pre-show included too, right?
Yeah. So when you go on for like a pay-per-view, it now says, hey, you got it says like estimated length, 6 hours.
Oh my God. They need to chop that up. Keep the pre-show one thing, the main show one thing, and the post-show a separate.
I don't know if like for their servers it's easier to just have one video there. But I mean, when they first were on Peacock, it was all separate. It was like, hey, here's the countdown, here's the main show, here's the post-show.
Yeah, crazy. So let's talk about this. John Cena turning heel, which everyone's like, oh my God, it's the first time he's turning heel. Keep in mind, he was the Thugonomics, Dr. Thugonomics way back in the day, but it's been like well over 20 years. He's been a baby face. And I think a lot of people just did not think he was ever going to turn heel at this point in his career, especially when he announced this is his final year, the retirement tour, all that stuff. So, Tim, just your initial thoughts of John Cena turning heel. Just, what was your reaction, and what do you think this could lead for him?
So a few different things, like everyone's comparing it to the NWO Bash at the Beach, like you even said. And like the moment, the turn, I don't compare the turn itself to Hogan. I compare it to Andre when he turned on Hogan, because if you think about it, when Hulk Hogan turned in WCW, he was still full-time, the top babyface per se. Yes, at that moment, fans were starting to get a little tired of Hogan as the top guy forever. But with Andre, he was the guy that wasn't there every week. He was in and out and so forth. So I compare it a little more to Andre turning on Hogan as far as, now John turning on Cody Rhodes. You can say like Cena's the Andre. He was one of the bigger guys, one of the biggest
Stars.
draws they had.
Yeah.
And now he's just coming back periodically before he's wrapping everything up. But regardless, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck is going on with Travis Scott. He was over there with his sage thing.
What?
Slapped Cody in the face. So
what was he? Yeah, saging for like, and he was like,
I don't know,
like saging on his body. It was like,
I don't know. I don't partake in that kind of activity.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't know. But so the funny thing here is Jey Uso talked about got a contact high off Travis Scott. Well, then The Rock in the post show was like, yeah, I showed up here and I had like a 3-hour contact high from Travis Scott. Not like I'm complaining or anything. So this guy went down there probably high, slapped Cody in the face because Rock said, hey, if you're going to do it, do it.
Yeah.
Like Rock told him laid in, and he laid it in a little too hard, apparently. I don't know. The rumor is that when he slapped Cody, busted his eardrum and gave him a black eye. So I don't know.
I hope Cody gets a receipt so bad. At some point, I hope Cody gets his revenge on Travis Scott. Laid into him.
I didn't listen to it, but I read like a quote. Conrad Thompson said something about maybe he spoke to Cody, and Cody said he didn't blame Travis or something. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
but overall, though, I thought it was fantastic. One of the greatest moments in pro wrestling history, at least in the last 20, 30 years.
Absolutely. So, okay. Because I think the big question is, what was bigger, Hogan or John Cena? And
I say Cena. Hogan? Really? Well, I don't know if it's comparable yet because we know where Hogan went. We know where that went.
The end story.
That changed all of professional wrestling, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
We don't know if Cena's turn will or not yet.
Okay. So to compare, let's just start there. Comparing Hogan's heel turn and John Cena's heel turn. Like, I remember Hogan's heel turn clearly. I watched it live, and for anyone who doesn't know, I was rewatching on YouTube just now. Which I want to give a shout out to my brother Tommy. He pointed out to me WWE created a WCW Vault channel on YouTube, and they're just uploading old matches up there. I'm like, this is awesome. So now they got the WWE Vault channel. Okay, so they have the WWE main YouTube channel, WWE Vault YouTube channel, and I think like an NXT Vault channel. Now a WCW channel, and then you alerted
to me. ECW one.
ECW one. There's nothing there yet, but I'm assuming they're gonna get stuff up there soon. So I just love it as far as we don't have the WWE Network anymore here in the US. So now, they're probably just like, all right, let's just start throwing everything on YouTube now, just specific matches, and just let people watch it whenever they want. So I'm all for it. So it's exciting just to see all this WCW stuff I grew up as a kid.
And I wonder if with all these new channels, if it's just, we're just going to take the regular monetization number, or if they cut some sort of a deal with YouTube. I don't know if that's possible.
I'm sure they'll probably get like ad revenue money, however that works.
Everybody can get monetized in ad revenue money, but I wonder if they cut some sort of a deal to get maybe more or something like a deal with YouTube to be like, hey, promote the channel and give us more revenue. Or I don't know. It's possible.
Okay. So that's the thing. So back at that time, I'm trying to take myself back to summer of 1996. So I would have been, let's see, what was the date again? It was July 7th, 1996. So I was 12 years old. Yeah, because my birthday is November 96. So I would have been turning 13. Was I really at 12 at that time? Jeez. I guess, I didn't start high school a couple years later. That's right. No, that's right. Yeah, because it was middle school time for myself. So anyway, 12 years old watching that, and it was just such a big moment because Hulk Hogan, all my life at that point, he was a baby face. Now, granted, I remember he was a heel, or learned that he was a heel way back in the early days when he got started in the late 70s, early 80s, and Freddie Blassie and all that stuff was his manager. But I just knew him as Hulkamania. So for him to go heel, that was a big moment. It's like, oh my God. And yes, he was kind of on the decline. He was in WCW, left WWE a couple years prior to that. And his character grew kind of stale at that point. He was feuding with Kevin Sullivan, Dungeon of Doom, and just other people like Kevin Sullivan. I know he's done interviews with the booking. He was booking at the time. They're just always trying to create like a big monster to go after Hogan and all that stuff. But it was a big moment. Like it created so much buzz for WCW, and it really shifted WCW as like became like the new hot promotion for people to tune in, because the NWO became like the biggest storyline in the world, and they became number one. And as we all know, with Eric Bischoff's podcast, 83 Weeks, they were number one for 83 straight weeks, beating WWE in the ratings. So it was this big shift in as far as competition goes. And then you just think about like all the other guys that joined the NWO, the merch, just the whole vibe, the cultural aspect it formed for wrestling. It was huge. And so you're right. We'll see how it goes with John Cena, with the changes, or how that's going to play out and affect WWE. It's yet to be seen.
Because my thing is with the NWO, it was at first with 3 full-time there every week pro wrestlers. We've got Travis Scott, who knows what he's doing. Apparently he's training.
Yeah.
Did you see the clip Triple H posted of him backstage right afterwards?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Where he's just like, I've never felt that before. That was so crazy. Better than doing a concert.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, okay, cool. But so it's him, we assume, he's part of this. Then you have The Rock, who knows when he's coming back. John Cena, he's not going to be there every single week. So it's like, is Cody the one that's got to keep this going week by week by himself? Are we going to get like videos on the Titantron? And that's my whole thing. It's like with the NWO, they were able to keep it strong because those guys were there every Monday.
And their whole premise was they were trying to take over WCW and run it. Even remember it was NWO versus WCW pay-per-view, and they just dominated every match. That was so goofy back then watching that. But yeah, so with WWE, now let's talk about the timing. Like, okay, WWE is already winning as far as like against the other competition.
Hands down.
Hands down. Yeah. So will this heel turn take them even to a new level? That's yet to be seen. They're already hot. Like I said, it might be comparing apples and oranges at this point, where what WCW got out of it with Hogan's heel turn, it really helped them drastically in so many ways. And they became the top company in the world at that point, all that stuff. With John Cena, it's interesting because the timing of it, because I would say this, because the timing is okay now. Like, I think fans with Hogan, it was extremely shocking because I thought everyone thought it was going to be Hulk Hogan, red and yellow for life. No pun intended. But we never thought the heel turn was going to come. It was never like speculated or demanded. John Cena, fans have been wanting him to turn heel pretty much when Super Cena became a thing.
It's because we've known since the second Rockmania match that Cena asked to turn heel, said that he had heel merch created or heel gear created, and he's been sitting for over a decade on a heel theme song.
Yeah. So you're right. It's kind of been like out there that the possibility is there, but will they ever pull the trigger? And he even said like they were gonna do it after he lost to The Rock the first time, right? It was at 2012, but Vince McMahon got cold feet and stopped because he's like, "This is my big baby face. I don't want to lose money from merch sales, and like it could cost the company a lot of money."
Apparently, there was always a joke that, and it's even funnier now, but that Vince had told John one time, "Oh no, you're making too much merch money from Kmart." Now look at it. Where's Kmart?
I know. Well, Target got Target now, and
I remember back in the day going into a Kmart and they would have a WWE section with all the John Cena shirts. I think I got a CM Punk shirt there once.
I miss Kmart's, dude. Kmart's they had a couple left in the Bay Area, and I would go get some like little action figures and stuff there. But yeah, no, I think there's like only like one left or two left, one in Florida or something like that.
But I don't even know. I could look it up.
Yeah. So with that being said, the timing for John Cena back then, I get why Vince didn't want to do it, because it's a big move, because like your top baby face, you lose like the merch sales, maybe the action figure sales. There's a lot you could lose a baby face going heel, and he got cold feet and didn't want to do it. Now it's okay. I think it's not as bad. It's okay, because you think about it, Tim. If you were a fan of John Cena, like let's say when the Thugonomics Cena started, like 2003, 22 years ago. Let's say you were 10 years old then. Now you're in your early 30s. Like, I think, your heart in love with John Cena is not as like drastic. Like, the fans of John Cena back in the day are like way older now. So I think them turning those little kids are adults now. So you're not going to lose them, or they're not going to upset them by going heel. Like, it's not going to be as tough.
You say that, but then it's like my son's 13 and his favorite wrestlers are John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
Well, that's the other thing too. I'm just thinking, like,
he grew up at the tail, like when he was born in 2011. So when he first started realizing at the age of like 2 or 3, maybe 3, what wrestling is, he latched on to John Cena, and that's just been his guy. So you've seen even this new generation of kids that they still love John Cena, even though he's not around as often.
Yeah, so that's why I'm curious. It might be more of a case by case situation, but like the younger kids, like preteens,
right.
What is their thought of John Cena? Because John Cena has been really part time for the last 5+ years, if not longer. At this point, I'm trying to think when he stepped away and started doing movies more full time. But John Cena has not been like a huge presence in their life, so I wonder the attachment to Cena being babyface or heel is not as strong as someone who grew up with him back in, or
even
OOs, mid OOs.
And even to compare it to the Hogan thing again, because Hogan was there every week. So it's not like they have that same maybe connection. Yes, John Cena may be their favorite wrestler, but it's like, I don't see him every week. So it's like, oh, this is cool. This is different. Unlike with Hogan, where it's just like, oh, I didn't expect this at all, because just a couple of weeks ago or last week, he was this and that. So
yeah. So
like we've seen Cena twice this year and once last year at Money in the Bank when he announced the retirement tour. It's like, how often is Cena even around? And granted, it's a big deal. I'm not trying to diminish it or anything, but it's like, how much is he around to make it feel like, oh my God, our big babyface savior has turned on us?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think the point of this heel turn, now we know the main event for WrestleMania 41 this year. It's going to be Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Undisputed Championship against John Cena, a heel John Cena, which makes the whole dynamic much more interesting. If it was going to be babyface versus babyface, that'd be kind of boring, and it'd be kind of like maybe boring promos. Like,
well, here's the other thing, and I think I mentioned this last week when we were talking. I think this is not a bad idea, because how many fans were going to turn on Cody because they wanted Cena to beat him for number 17? So now you've got Cody can stay the babyface and not have a section of the audience go, oh no, Cody, you can't win. John's got to get number 17.
Exactly. So that's my thing. It's like, this creates a true proper babyface versus heel dynamic going into this match, and therefore it's more clear, like, okay, you want the babyface to win, you're going to cheer on Cody Rhodes. So yeah, you're right. I'm with you. I think this makes it a lot better build for WrestleMania and story going into it. And let's be real, man, for Cody Rhodes, he is going to be a superstar. Like, he's already a superstar. He's like the face of the company, but he's going to go into that next top tier. Like, there was a question, like, okay, he's the current babyface, the top guy right now of this generation, this era, but now this could take him to the next, like, all-time greats category. Your Hogans, your Cenas, your Roman Reigns, your Austins.
Does Cody beat Cena at Mania, or does Cena get number 17? That's the big question, though.
All right, so I mean, quick answer, my gut reaction is yes, Cena's gonna win.
Yeah.
I think Cena's going to win, break the record. So what I was going to say with Cody, though, I think, he's going to drop the title to Cena, creates this big adversity. It's like, oh my God. Like, I beat The Rock and Roman last year. Can I really beat Rock and Cena? This is like the new 2-man power trip right now. You can even say this alignment, the two of them, which hopefully we'll figure out more of Cena's motivation. I'm imagining whenever Cena does show up again and explain his reasoning for turning heel, I would imagine maybe the main reason is desperation to win that 17th title. Like, he's been on a kind of a losing streak. He hasn't won a singles match in WWE in how many years now? Like a few years.
Since 2018.
Oh my God.
It was the Triple H Saudi show, the Saudi match with Triple H, I believe.
Oh, gee. So 6.5 years at this point?
Yeah.
So for him,
that's like he said on the first Raw on Netflix when he showed, he's like, it's been over 2,000 days since I won an actual match on my own.
Yeah, so that's the thing is for him, he's like, I'm sure in his mind, kayfabe, mentally he's thinking, like, I have not won a match in a really long time. I announced this is my last year. I really want to break that record, but I don't know if I can do it because I'm a loser.
Yeah.
I'm losing all the time. So what do I need to do to break the record? He's got to go to that dark side, and that dark side is aligning himself with The Rock. And so I think this is that's the story right there. It's him feeling desperate. He wants to break the record. He's not the same guy as we all knew him was before, and he's taking the easy route, or in his mind, easy way out by aligning with The Rock, and The Rock can help him. So that's the thing. I think that's the motivation, is that desperate to get that win, get that title. So with Cody, if he could overcome this and eventually beat The Rock or beat Cena, that's going to be huge for him. Like I said, this is a new layer. Because if you can argue like the Cody title reign over the last year, he's had some great opponents like AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and some other people. The Bloodline, the Bloodline reunion was separate, but he's had some great opponents, some great storylines. I've enjoyed his title reign and the different opponents he's had. But I know some people kind of complain, it might be getting a little stale. And that's what most fickle fans complain about, that when there's like a long-term champion, they're going to complain, it's run its course, it's getting boring. I've enjoyed Cody's title reign for the most part. But this refreshes that. And then him dropping the title, it's like, it makes sense to drop the title to Cena and The Rock. It's like this new two-man power trip. And then you tell that story of Cody, what he needs to do to regroup and go after that title again and beat them. And if he could beat these guys, like I said, this could take him to that next level, like the all-time greats. Like he's beaten the Roman Reigns, who was the dominant tribal chief, the heel Cena that seemed unstoppable with The Rock. And I think that's the goal here. I think we're telling like a couple years story. I think being Roman last year with The Rock there, being Cena this year, or at some point this year to get back the title. I think this leads to a match with Rock Cody next year, WrestleMania. So it's like a 3-year trilogy of stories between Cody and The Rock.
Also think about the tie-in from last year. If you want to talk about last year, Cena came out and helped Cody against The Rock.
That's the other thing too, which I was kind of a little shocked by all this.
Yeah.
Is technically Cena helped Cody beat Roman last year, and he got involved against The Rock. So
took the rock bottom stuff. But I want to read you what Nick messaged me right after this went down. He goes,
okay,
and then this is actually kind of telling. He said, why can't Cody get a Mania match where he isn't getting, and he uses a couple curse words here, his butt kicked leading up to it? He's like, unfair to my man.
Well, yeah, like I said, create some adversity.
They always want Cody to have to be the underdog and fight from the bottom up.
Yeah. Just to cheer him on. It's
white meat, as Triple H is called, the white meat baby face.
Yeah.
Defying the odds.
Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa got his butt kicked by Apollo, and other opponents, Mr. T, Ivan in Rocky 4. Like, you get your ass kicked, and then you come back to get your revenge. And the same thing with Cody Rhodes. Get his ass handed to him by The Rock, by Roman Reigns, comes back and wins. Gets his ass beat by The Rock, John Cena. I'm sure he'll drop the title, but then get his revenge at some point later in the year. So that's the other thing, too, that's crazy. Think about this, Tim. Like, in an alternate timeline, if things played out how The Rock wanted to, last year, it would have been Rock versus Roman.
Right.
And then who knows what would happen next. But instead, Cody, Triple H, whoever, like, we're going to keep our plan of Cody versus Roman part 2 at WrestleMania. Cody wins the title. We get heel Rock in the process. The final boss is made because of this. And then a year later, the final boss, heel Rock, is still around. And then it leads to like heel John Cena. Like, it's kind of, you think about the domino effect of this. If you think about like Cody win the Royal Rumble,
it's
like it makes you wonder if we would have got, if Rock versus Roman would have happened last year as The Rock wanted, would we ever gotten heel John Cena?
Would we ever got the final boss, the version that it is now? Like, exactly. I don't think so.
Exactly.
He would have been the baby face against Roman probably. And it's like, we wouldn't have got Rock creating this awesome character.
And then at the same time, if Cody didn't get that match last year, I think he would have kind of unfortunately flamed out, because people would be like, he's not going to finish his story. We got to wait another year. He kind of would have lost his momentum. So maybe Cody Rhodes would not be the baby face that he is now.
Well, see, here's the thing. So if you want to really talk what if.
Yeah, what if?
Like, okay. Cody wins the Rumble. We knew that day he was told, you're winning the Rumble, but you're not facing Roman.
Yeah.
Like, we knew he was told that day. And the plan that night was Rock will face Roman, Punk will face Seth. Cody was supposed to be left off of WrestleMania fully.
Which doesn't make sense when he won the Royal Rumble.
And then Punk gets hurt. He was supposed to get shifted into the Seth match. So what, he was going to be the World Heavyweight Champion instead?
Yeah.
Instead of the WWE Champion, where nothing against that title, but they don't see that as fans don't see that as the face if you got that title.
Yeah, correct. I'm so happy Cody, if you want to say went to business for himself or someone told him to do it, pointed to Roman Reigns.
No, you know who you think for all this is your good friend old Drew McIntyre for injuring CM Punk.
That's another what if. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you really think about what's been going on WWE television for the last year plus now, it makes you wonder if certain people got what they wanted, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in now. But because things change, I think we're in a better situation now. Like I said, Roman eventually lost the title. Cody finished his story. We got final boss heel Rock. We got heel John Cena. You think about all these things that have happened. It's really amazing. So, which I think is better than what the original plan was going to be.
But also, that's a big kudos to the company for being able to adapt.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And even Rock, you know, to his credit, this was not his original plan, but to play along with it.
Adapt, change course, and move on.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to compare this to Tony Khan and anything, but we know Tony, when he has to adapt, he likes to still find a way to get back to what his original plan was and not move on.
Yeah.
We saw it with Adam Cole and MJF at World's End. They're supposed to have a World's End match in 2023. Cole got injured, so he figured out a way to get him to World's End 2024.
And a lot of people were scratching their head. And poor Adam Cole, like, I give him credit. He's been trying to, when I interviewed him, he was giving the same answer about MJF he did in the promo. He's trying to justify all this stuff, why he's really the baby face and MJF is really the heel and all this. Like, I give him credit. He's trying to sell that story so hard. So Adam Cole is a true professional in that sense. So yeah, man, like, that's the thing. So this heel turn, what's the impact going to be? I think it's going to, okay, for us older fans, I'm sure it's going to be fun to see John Cena as a heel. Like, I'm curious, what the new music's going to be. What's his presentation? He's not going to wear jorts anymore. Is he going to wear
black jorts?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. What gear is he going to wear? I don't think he's going to shave his head or cut his hair short like it was in the past, because I think he has to keep it long for Hollywood and the roles.
It'll look weird with the bald spot.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
And that thing's growing.
But also give kudos to Cena for his performance. Oh, yeah. Because, like, when, just jumping ahead here, John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. After the video package, kind of recapping what happened in the match, the cage, Elimination Chamber cage was pulled up. Cody Rhodes comes out. Rock comes out. Travis Scott, all that. And, The Rock asked Cody for his decision. Like, I want your soul. You're going to align yourself with me. And I love Cody said, hey, Rock, go fuck yourself. So that was awesome. But I like John Cena in the background, who's like being a cheerleader for Cody, cheering him on. It's like, yeah, don't go that way. And then sure enough, they hug. John Cena and Cody Rhodes hug. And then The Rock gives the slit the neck throat.
Well, no, it was more like a, what the?
I know, that was kind of weird. Like really overselling.
Was he trying to like in the Dark Knight when the Joker was like at his cheek thing?
Yeah. So yeah, Rock give the slit the neck sign to John Cena, and like his facial reaction just changed from like smiley happy guy to just frowning like killer mode, bad guy killer mode, and kick Cody Rhodes in the balls, and they just beat the crap out and rip his shirt. Hit him with the Rolex watch and then the belt a couple times. And I love. So I was like saying when he had the belt, standing by the ring ropes, and Cody took that moment to blade himself. All that, and the blood bleeding. Oh, so good.
You think that's really Dusty's watch? You think Nick Khan really found the exact watch that Dusty pawned years and years and years and years and years ago?
I want to believe it is, but I think maybe it's just like it's one that's just like it, like a replica.
And then my other question is: do you think if say it is the exact watch? Yeah. Would Cody really risk it actually getting potentially broken in that segment with Cena hitting him with it?
I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if that's the real watch.
I just wonder, like,
one similar.
I can't afford a Rolex. I would. I wonder if there's a way, if you buy like a really fancy watch, is there like a serial number or something? Like maybe does Cody and them have like info?
Oh, maybe a receipt or the box or like a purchase receipt. Maybe that's an interesting question.
Like like really expensive stuff. Like guitars or instruments,
Right.
like if it's stolen or something, if you have it registered, you can like look it up if that's the actual one. So I wonder with like expensive watches, can you get it like somewhat
Maybe, yeah, maybe
documented?
they just knew somebody that had it, that like, it's like you watch Pawn Stars and it's like, how did you know that was, Paul McCartney's old guitar from the 70s? It's like, oh, because we have this that proves it's this. So maybe Nick Khan knew a guy that was able to find it because,
Well, that's the thing, like, because the last couple of years, that story of the Rolex kind of got out there publicly. And then so for all we know, maybe someone had this Rolex and they knew it was the former watch of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, maybe they reached out to the company.
Yeah, maybe they put two and two together. Like, oh my God, this is the watch they've been talking about on TV. And then maybe they set up a deal and stuff. Or or it could be just one that just looks exactly like they just bought a replica.
And we've never seen the watch, so we don't know. We're just taking their word for it. Anyway.
Exactly. But yeah, so this heel turn with Cena, in the ring, like I said, the delivery, the presentation was awesome. And then they beat him up, beat the crap out of him. Like I said, Travis Scott punched him in the face. And then they whip him with that belt that says Cody's soul, which I don't get. Like, okay, on SmackDown, that go home episode, when Rock was still trying to persuade Cody to join him, he comes up in the truck and he has this belt and it says Cody's soul and then the date Dusty died. Like, how's that for trying to win over Cody?
Because the weight belt is, because he said it. He said, he said it at Elimination Chamber, if you don't say yes, another dream will die tonight.
Okay, I get that.
So it's supposed to be like, hey, this weight belt is your
punishment
if you say no.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to just put it together.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, like I said, I know we're spending a lot of time on this, but it's that's the other thing too. The significance of this moment. You think about it, Cena, like Hogan, that was babyface for decades. I mean, Hogan, I don't know how long he was babyface, technically, like early 80s till 96, how long that period was. Like, I have to ask my brother what exactly year did. Whenever Hogan signed with,
you would think 12, 13 years at least.
Yeah, because whenever he came back to WWE after Rocky 3 and all that stuff, Cena, he's been babyface for over 20 years. Like, this is a generational moment. Like, I don't think we'll see another moment like this again because, let's be real, in today's pro wrestling world, wrestlers go between babyface and heel so many times. They switch back and forth. So no one's like really a true babyface for an extended period of time, or maybe a babyface all throughout their career. At some point, they're going to switch over to heel, whatever. If they feel like they need a character change, if their character is stale, they need to switch it up. So that's why I think it makes it more significant. Like, John Cena has been a babyface for over 2 decades. That's why for a lot of people it was such a shocking moment. And that's why I don't think we might see this again for another maybe 20, 25, 30 years until someone else comes along that's like a dedicated babyface for an extended period of time. So when they do become a heel, it's going to have that same feel. Like, you and I are going to be maybe old men when this happens again.
The only other name I can see similar to this, as far as like babyface forever, is Rey Mysterio.
True. Okay.
Like, I'm trying to think.
Ricky Steamboat back in the day.
Yeah. Like, who else has been a babyface for like a straight 20-year period? Like, since he joined WWE in 2002, I want to say it was, Ray hasn't been a heel, whether that was in or out of WWE. He was a babyface. I'm trying to think who else has been like that. Who else never turned?
It's really rare. But like I said, I mean, Cody Rhodes has been a babyface, and I think he's going to be babyface for a while now. Because I think, and that's the other thing too, by Cena going heel, this prevents Cody from turning heel. Because I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, let's get heel Cody Rhodes as Homelander and all this." I'm
that's
like,
because we know heel. We know from his like ROH and New Japan days, a heel Cody Rhodes is really fun.
Oh yeah, I know he's a fun, creative guy. But right now, they're making a lot of money with Cody Rhodes, with the merch. The kids love him. All that stuff. I can see the same reasoning not to turn him heel. You don't want to risk it right now. But like I said, he is the new top guy that can. He's the only one that can go after The Rock and John Cena that we can believe to take him out and win. And when he does beat them whenever it is in the future, it's going to be such a huge moment, and he's going to be put up at that next level, that tier, which you can say that he could be in the argument for Mount Rushmore at that point of like all-time greats. Like, if Cody overcomes these odds, let's say he beats Cena. Let's say Cena beats him for the title, but he gets his revenge, gets the title back, and then let's say he defeats The Rock at a future WrestleMania. this will put Cody up in the top tier all-time great list, and then he becomes in the argument of like all-time greats of Mount Rushmore. I think that's what the point of this is. This is really going to help Cody and WWE long-term, creating their next big baby face that's up there with Hogan's, the Austins, Cena's.
Are you judging that on Cena's career, or not Cena, Cody's career as a whole? First WWE run, indie run, current run, or just his current run? Because we don't know how long this, second stint in WWE is really going to be. How long is he going to be around?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, because how old is he right now? Is he 39 or let's see? Cody Rhodes is 30. Yeah, 39 right now.
He'll be 40 this year.
Yeah, I would imagine we can, if things go right, hopefully get like a good 5 years out of this at some point. So that's the thing. Because you look at like guys guys in today's world are wrestling longer in their careers into their late 40s. You look at AJ Styles, Randy Orton, CM Punk.
AJ said, "I won't wrestle when I'm 50." He said it in the recent interview with Chris Van Vliet. He's like, once I'm 50, I'm done.
He has like 3 years left. I think at this point he's 47 right now. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be huge for Cody, I think, long term, and it's going to help the company overall. So,
but my one big question with this is, how long does John stay a heel? Does he go back babyface before the retirement tour is over?
Well, it makes you wonder. Like I saw someone online said, what if the real John Cena would be really heel and he goes longer than this? He goes past this year. He's like, oh Lord, psych, I'm not retiring. I'm a wrestler for as long as I want. And that's a true heel. It's like, screw you. I'm going back against the word, against my initial announcement. I'm not retiring. But that's the thing. So I think, okay, real talk, at the end of the day, I think Cena is not going to retire as a heel. I think there's going to be some point of redemption arc for him, and he's going to return as a baby face before he finally retires. He's going to have like a Darth Vader moment, come to realization, like, okay, if John Cena is Darth Vader right now and The Rock is the Emperor, he's going to realize the air's in his ways, and he's like, you know what? This is not who I am. I need to go back to who I was, hustle, loyalty, and respect. I got to go back. So he's going to beat up The Rock and then become babyface again before he retires.
I know how you snap him out of all this. It's his old foe, Randy Orton, punting him in the head, and he snaps out of it. Oh, I don't remember any of this.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like what I'm excited for this heel run for John Cena and him as champion. You get a whole new fresh set of matches with old foes from his past, but the dynamic is different. You think about it, heel Cena versus a babyface Randy Orton, a babyface CM Punk. Who else is on the card?
AJ.
Yeah. Oh yeah. AJ Styles. I mean, there's so many other guys from his past. I mean, Sheamus,
Hey, they can now properly do that Joe Hendry match that he wants.
Yes. I mean, that would be great if he goes down to TNA and talks crap to Joe Hendry, who's the babyface TNA champion. So there's so many fun possibilities that it's going to create some really compelling television. You're right now with the build though to him and Cody for WrestleMania, like how many appearances he's actually going to do, that's to be seen. But like imagine heel Cena, heel Rock doing promos together, like video packages or in the ring stuff. That's going to be entertaining. I'm so excited for this. It is like rejuvenated this road to WrestleMania, the build, because we touched on it last week. Some people were complaining a lot of the build's been underwhelming so far. Well, no, you got to get through Elimination Chamber. Now that's done. It's behind us. Now the next 6 weeks we're gonna have really fun.
So we do know that not next week in MSG, but the final 3 weeks of March overseas, Cena is scheduled for all 3 episodes of Raw, and according to Fightful, Rock may join him on at least one of those episodes.
Great. Yeah.
Now, as far as April does go, there's we've got how many April? 1, 2. So there's 2 more weeks in April as well to build. But other than next week, it's still weird that Cena's scheduled for all these Raws and not SmackDown when Cody's the SmackDown champion. But Cena's supposed to be 3 weeks in a row. 17th, Brussels, the 24th, Glasgow, and the 31st in London. So there's 3 straight weeks of Cena we're going to get.
Yeah. So, I mean, this can be an ongoing topic here. So, yeah, with John Cena, we'll see what happens next. It's going to be so much fun. I know we're running along here just talking all Cena stuff. So, let's go ahead and just quickly recap the rest of Elimination Chamber. So, the opening match had Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. It was an Elimination Chamber match. The winner becomes a new number one contender for the Women's World Championship. That match at WrestleMania 41. Going into it, it was Rhea Ripley. Spoiler alert, she's no longer the champion. Io Sky is the champion, which we'll touch on that in a second. But this match itself, I really enjoyed it. It started out hot and it never let up. It was a pretty fast pace the whole time. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Before the match started, it was Liv Morgan and Naomi in the ring starting out, everyone else in their respected pods. Jade Cargill makes her big return, comes walking to the ring, looks like $1 million. She looked amazing. Whew, man, amazing. Comes in, Liv Morgan's freaking out, thinking, "Oh my God, she's here to beat me up." She probably thinks I'm the one that beat her up based on the footage that came on SmackDown 2 weeks ago. Now Jade comes walking up to Liv Morgan, but does like a little 45-degree cut, goes right after Naomi, beats the crap out of her, stomps on her, takes the sliding doors, slams it on her head. Bianca Belair, her partner, tag team partner, is freaking out, crying in the corner in the pod. Like, no, what are you doing? It's like watching your friend get murdered. I was thinking, like, were you a Sons of Anarchy fan?
I've watched episodes. I didn't like. I wasn't like dedicated every week, but I've seen episodes. Spoiler
alert: Jax, the main character, when they were in prison, his best friend Opie got killed in prison. He had to watch it through. You could watch it on YouTube if you want. He was stuck behind a glass watching his best friend get murdered in front of him. So it just took me to the Sons of Anarchy moment right there. But anyway, yes, Jade Cargill beats her up. So as we all kind of assume, Jade Cargill was attacked by Naomi, which hopefully we'll get more explanation coming episode of SmackDown. But yeah, what do you think of this opening part of the Elimination Chamber match?
Oh, it made me go, I should have been recording my reaction here because I would have been one of them people that WWE would have used. Because when Jade came out and I'm like, oh, this is cool. But when, like you said, she did that 45-degree to Naomi, I was like, oh my God. Like, I kind of lost it for a second there. I thought this was hot. This was great. This was awesome. It made Jade look amazing.
Yeah.
And so Naomi gets stretchered out.
Yeah.
But we know Naomi is okay-ish because she was at the Queen of the Ring premiere, the movie premiere. But she was wearing this like sparkly sequin dress with a matching neck brace.
Oh, nice. Okay, did not see that. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
okay.
She's wearing a matching neck brace.
Very cool. That's good detail right there. Keeping kayfabe alive.
My thing is, there's a couple ways we can now think about this, and hopefully we get clarification tomorrow on Raw or SmackDown, because Bianca wouldn't speak about it after the pay-per-view or on Raw. She goes,
Raw.
Haven't talked to them. I'm not going to assume. But here's the thing. So did Naomi just do it and nobody knew? Are her and Bianca in cahoots? Did Bianca know that Naomi was the one? Were they, did they set it up together? And then the other thing, it's like, if it was just Naomi, people are asking, well, why didn't Jade tell Bianca so, Bianca knew ahead of time? But it's like, no, because Jade wanted to be able to get the revenge and not have Bianca essentially take out Naomi for her. That's my thing. If they're not working together.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So if it's just solely Naomi, my reasoning here would be, and this is, again, we're just speculating. My reasoning is, again, oh, no, I'm not going to tell Bianca because I know Bianca loves me so much that she'd want to stick up for me and she'll take her out for me, but I want the first punch. So that's my thing. But again, we don't know if Bianca was in on it. Like, why would Bianca have left an opportunity to fight for the Women's United States Championship if she wasn't in on it? You know what I mean? Like, she just gave up and remember, she just walked out on that match.
Yeah. God, it's so long ago now. Tournament. I was like, what?
November.
Yeah. Because the main event or the finals with Saturday night's main event. December.
I want to say it was, because I just looked it up for a video I did talking about the whole thing. I think it was like November 22nd or something like that.
Oh my God. So, okay, I'm with you, because that's the thing too. Bianca said, I haven't talked to them and all that stuff. To me, that's funny in pro wrestling world or WWE world.
One thing,
does no one text each other or talk to each other? They only talk to each other when they're at the arena.
So that's the funny thing is, Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer were doing their review of the podcast or whatever, of the show on their podcast. And Brian's like, how did Jade not tell Bianca? And then Dave goes, well, Brian, in storyline, wrestlers don't talk if they're not at the building.
Yes. I'm like, that's one little, what's the term, trope WWE has. It's like you look at Roman Reigns or the Bloodline, like something happens and they're like, have you talked to Roman? No, not yet. It's like, you would think if like Roman was pissed at, let's say, Jimmy back in the day for something, he would have called him right after and be like, dude, what were you doing? Like, why'd you do that? And you had to wait till the next Friday for the confrontation.
It was just funny the way Dave said it too. He's like, in storyline, wrestlers aren't allowed to talk unless they're at the building.
I know. I get it. And I'm with that. That's like the one little issue I have. Like, if I know someone did something, I'm going to confront them right away or talk to them about it right away.
Because it's like they kept saying for weeks, we haven't talked to Jade. We haven't talked to Jade. It's like, why? Did Jade's voice box go out? Her thumb, she can't text?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you can't fly to her house, talk to her in person, or like
I don't know.
travel. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like that's like the one aspect of WWE wrestling or storytelling. You got to suspend your disbelief a little bit in that situation. But you're right. Like from a real world perspective, it doesn't make sense. So, but overall, this match was a lot of fun. I gotta give Liv Morgan her flowers. Like I really come around on Liv Morgan over the last year and a half. I think she's really improved as. Since she's came back from injury, became a women's world champion, her rivalry with Rhea Ripley, Judgment Day, all that work. And like low key, she has built up like a really good resume of accomplishments when she's coming to the ring. I think they said it was her 6th Elimination Chamber match. Keep in mind,
more than any woman in the company, I believe.
Yeah, she's a 2-time world champion. She's won the Crown Jewel ring last year. Let's see, Money in the Bank winner, all her accomplishments.
And then her and Raquel are the only women's team to win the tag titles 3 times.
Exactly. So like that list of resumes, accomplishments, awards that they showed on the screen, I was like, wow, Liv Morgan really has a great body of work now. So kudos to her, just everything she's accomplished. And another great showing in this match here. Let's see. I was really shocked that Bayley was eliminated first. That was shocking, but I enjoyed Roxanne Perez's performance. Like, dude, she is so smooth in the ring. She's explosive. I mean, don't let her smaller size fool you. She's explosive. She's so smooth and crisp in the ring. She's going to be such a star for them. Yeah.
Have you watched LFG yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, so I didn't know this, but there's a guy on LFG that's dating Roxanne Perez.
Oh yeah, I know about that guy. I saw on Instagram that they were.
Did you see the clip with?
With Maxine Dupree's boyfriend.
Anybody that hasn't seen it, there was on the last episode of LFG, they were doing promo battles basically, and they, unbeknownst to the coaches or whoever set up the matchups, they put Roxanne Perez's boyfriend against Maxine Dupree's boyfriend.
Oh, that's how they put on the screen.
No. So they didn't say it, but that's who got put together, so they used that against each other as far as promos. Or at least Maxine's boyfriend did, because he's like, I hear you're dating, and this is, if anyone hasn't seen it, go back and watch it just for Bubba Ray, because his reactions to the whole thing. Yeah, where so Maxine's boyfriend's like, so I hear you're dating Roxanne Perez, right? He's like, she might be half your size, but she'll never be half the wrestler she is. And no, that was great.
And then the guy, Roxanne Perez boyfriend, responded, yeah, you and your girlfriend Maxine combined will never be the wrestler Roxanne is, like back and forth.
And then he tried to use the thing. He was like, well, my girlfriend's on main roster, so she's better. Yo, okay, bud.
I'm like, okay, yeah, she's a manager. She doesn't wrestle that much. Like, there's two different things.
She could do the reverse worm.
I know. Kudos to her. That is cool. That is a cool move she can do. But the rest of this match here, I mean, if you guys saw the match, you know how great it was. Like I said, we're running kind of long here, so let's just speed through this. So yeah, all the eliminations here. Let's see, I have it here. Naomi technically was eliminated first by Jade Cargill's attack. Bayley was eliminated by Liv Morgan. Roxanne Perez was eliminated by Alexa Bliss. Man, Alexa Bliss is just so over with the crowd still.
Yes.
Like, I'm really amazed by that, to me, just in general. Just her and Alexa Bliss got eliminated by Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair going at it. Man, that whip with the hair whip of Bianca on Liv on top of the pod.
Yeah.
Ooh. But then again, I thought she got hit in the back, but she had the big old welt on her stomach. But so
I think it wrapped all around her, maybe.
Oh, okay. Because I thought maybe she got scraped coming down because she was coming down the elimination cage.
See, I thought the same thing, but it was like, I think maybe the hair whipped all around her.
Like, okay, like, listen, I know you're trying to protect each other in the ring. Like, does Bianca ever feel guilty? Like, are the wrestlers, the opponents, like, just lay into me? Because she did the Sasha Banks.
I mean, Liv seems like someone that would be like, just give it all you got.
I'd be like, Can you hit me like on my fabric, on my clothing, on my wrestling gear, not on my actual open skin? Like, ow! Oh man. But anyway, so Bianca Belair ultimately picked up the win, eliminating Liv Morgan. So yes, Bianca Belair is the winner of the Women's Elimination Chamber. Coming up the rope, the ramp. It was bittersweet because she wins this big moment. She has her match for WrestleMania, but obviously she's also in distress because of what happened with Jade and Naomi. So it was a bittersweet moment. At the top of the ramp, Rhea Ripley comes out. They have a little stare down. Then Io Sky comes out and they all stare at each other. All right. So at that moment, we don't know who Bianca's official opponent is. Let's jump ahead to Monday Night Raw. The main event, Rhea Ripley defending the women's world title against Io Sky. Amazing main event. I loved it. Bianca's on commentary, kind of jabbing or talking back and forth to Rhea and stuff. Rhea's kind of getting distracted. At one point, Bianca finally pushes her. Ref didn't see it because I thought it would be on it. Oh, did the ref see it? Right.
Ref did see it, and she yelled at both of them saying, "Hey, I don't want to call a DQ in this match. Please stop."
Okay,
she gave them a warning,
which is so rare. Like,
so this is an important title match. We can't have a DQ. Don't do it again. Like she was like, "Hey, if you do it again, then I'll have to call the DQ. But I'm gonna give it one warning."
And then
they say referee's discretion.
All right. Well, so Rhea has Io up on the middle ropes and is trying to go for a super riptide.
Almost slipped.
Yeah, and then tells Bianca, "This one, I'll see you at WrestleMania." But Io was able to counter and hit hit the moonsault on Rhea and pinned her. And Io Sky is your new women's world champion. So as of right now, at the time of this recording, Io Sky defending the title against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 41.
Well,
so what are you thinking?
You got to listen to the way Michael Cole called it at the end, though.
Okay.
Because he says, Bianca Belair is your new women's world champion and will defend her title at WrestleMania. And then didn't say anything else. Didn't say against Bianca Belair. We never saw an official graphic. Yes, a day and a half later, they finally put up on the website, "Hey, Bianca Io," but there's still no official, like them on the playing cards graphic that says it's just those two. Okay. The only thing they've said as far as it being them is the one post on the website. But the way Michael Cole called it is, for me, that and no graphic is, it's going to be a triple threat. They're going to add Rhea in somehow.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I still think it's going to be a triple threat because you're not going to leave Rhea Ripley, one of your biggest female wrestlers on the roster, off WrestleMania. So I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know if Rhea can invoke a rematch clause. Maybe she has a rematch with Io Sky, or if she wins, or excuse me, she has a match with Bianca Belair, and if she wins, she gets back in the match, or maybe
that would make the most sense right there. I didn't think about that. That would make the most sense.
Or maybe Rhea's upset, confronts Bianca Belair, and it's like, "You cost me my title, my match at WrestleMania, all that stuff. Let's make it right. You and me one-on-one. And if I win, I get my spot." Or it's like Bianca puts her number one contendership on the line. And it's like, if Rhea wins, then she becomes a new number one contender for WrestleMania. Or if Bianca wins, then she goes on to face Io. So winner gets a match at WrestleMania. But maybe some sort of shenanigans, and it ends up both of them, no contest, something, and then it ends up being a triple threat. So I just think either Rhea invokes some sort of rematch clause, or tells Bianca, "Hey, put your number one contendership on the line versus me as payback for you costing my title." But some sort of there's some way around it.
Match of Bianca makes the most sense to make it happen. As far as she beats Bianca. Maybe they don't even set it up for Mania, as far as she just beats her, and then Adam Pearce comes out and was like, "You know what? You just beat the number one contender. How about I add her to the match? It's all fair. This. So I can see something." But that makes a lot. I didn't think about it that way. That would be the easiest way to do it.
And that's the thing too. It's I'm not the biggest fan of triple threats, but these are the three top stars from Raw. You're not going to keep them off WrestleMania. I love Io Sky. I mean, you can argue she's the best female wrestler in that company right now.
Easily.
Yeah, and she's just so dynamic. I love watching her wrestle. She's just so much fun. Rhea's such a star, and Bianca is probably the best athlete. I mean, and she's a star as well. All that stuff. Now the thing is, it's interesting. Bianca Belair has a streak going, a WrestleMania win streak going intact.
I didn't think about that. No, I did not think about that.
She has a winning streak going. Not Undertaker level, yeah, but it's
Right.
she's got a good amount of wins going so far. You think about over the last I want to say 5-6 years now. So she's got a good little streak going.
Okay.
So it's gonna be interesting. Like the story here is like title or I'm just wondering if Bianca's probably gonna win just to keep that streak going. So I just feel bad for Io. It's gonna be a short title reign if that's the case. And then I think what they do is they do a proper build over the next year of Bianca versus Rhea 1-on-1 at next year's WrestleMania. So do the triple threat right now, but I think you take your time and build up. That's like a main event match right there, Bianca versus Rhea. But take your time over the next year to get to that point. So I think that's what ultimately going to happen there. So, all right. Next up, we had Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus teaming up against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Trish punches. Oh no.
What's that?
Trish's punches did not look good.
I know.
You know what? You know what's bad. You know you nothing against Nia, but you know it's not a great match when Nia's the best in the match.
Listen, I know it was in Toronto. Trish Stratus is a legend in the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
She's from Toronto. They're trying to get some star power with her on the card, being from Toronto.
Right.
I don't know. I think we talked about it before with the predictions. Like, could they put like a different match on this card in that place? Like, it just feels like they're kind of shoehorning this in. And then at the same time, I thought maybe Charlotte Flair would show up and maybe kind of give some more tension between her and Tiff, building up their match. I mean, the match was fine. It was entertaining for the hometown crowd, and Trish, it was a great moment for her children to see her wrestle, all that. I mean, ultimately, Tiffany and Trish pick up the win over Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. So, I mean, a good moment, but it didn't really add anything to the Tiffany-Charlotte Flair rivalry. And
that was my thing. No Charlotte at all. Like, Charlotte not watching, Charlotte not coming down after, no nothing. It was just like, oh, we got to find a way to get Trish on, and she's not going to work a singles match.
And we just talked about Rhea, Bianca, and Io. I think they could tell some really great stories there on Raw. Mm-hmm. I hope on SmackDown, you got to give us something with Tiffany and Charlotte. Yeah. Give some more layers. Like, give Charlotte, have her cut a promo explaining why she chose Tiffany. She has yet to explain herself after winning the Royal Rumble, why she picked Tiffany Stratton. We have yet to hear an explanation. It's been over a month now. You got to give us something. Like, it's not just be like, I'm the best. I want that title. Like, you got to give some more reasoning between these two. I hope they take some time on SmackDown. You got 3 hours for the next 6 weeks. Tell us some good stories, compelling stories. So the match, it was fine. Just pleasing the hometown crowd, the Toronto crowd. So it is what it is. All right. Next up, Kevin Owens took on Sami Zayn. Unsanctioned match. I would say maybe this could say match of the night. I had a lot of fun with this. Like, started a little slow, but I think things started picking up once they went into the crowd. And when they came back into the ring, Kevin pushed Sammy over into the double stacked tables. That's when it really started picking up. But yeah, what'd you think of this match between the two of them?
So initially, I was like, ooh, I expected a little bit more. But then I hear and learn, well, they had a directive of Kevin and Sammy can't bleed because Cody's going to get the blood at the end of the show. And we want that to be more dynamic with, oh, we already saw blood. It's not that big of a deal. No, you want the shock and awe of, oh, first time we see blood for the night. But regardless, I thought this match was fantastic. I thought this match was great. Both men outstanding. Like, oh my God, moments all throughout the match. Sami Zayn's one of the best sellers in all professional wrestling.
Yeah.
So no, this match, I don't know if anything, I'd say in the 9.5 that could have been a 10. Like, it's that almost perfect.
If there was blood, it would have been 10. So, no, you're right. I'm with you. Like, I was kind of hoping for some blood, but then it makes sense now in hindsight with the Cody Rhodes segment. You got the John Cena heel turn to really sell that impactful moment. Let all the blood be there for Cody. But yeah, this match was a lot of fun. Even the barbed wire wrap chair, that was cool. And just the two of them going at it all over the place. And you really just felt the emotion there. These two guys who obviously longtime friends, but also enemies. They love each other. They're just going all out for each other. And so Kevin Owens picks up the victory over Sami Zayn. And as he's in the ring, we see Randy Orton come out, make his big return. Excited to see Randy Orton back. Comes in. He's trying to go after Kevin Owens. He's going for a punt, but then all the officials come in and and
I thought
stop
that
it.
was done masterfully. The way they stopped him from the punt, because now we get the big moment at Mania when he punts Kevin in the head.
Exactly. So it's definitely setting up Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So let me ask you this, Tim, though. What do you do with Sami Zayn? What's Sami Zayn's role going to be for WrestleMania now?
To show up in the match with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton and screw Kevin.
Okay. The only other thing I
That's what
could
I
think
think.
of, I mean, we talked about in the predictions last week. I maybe Karrion Kross, because he's been kind of, interacting with Sammy in some backstage segments.
I don't think so. After Michael Cole said on Raw that Sammy re-aggravated his neck injury and he's got nerve damage from the match and this and that, he's going to be out for a little while. So I think he's going to be out till Mania, and then he's going to play a role in the match with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I love this match for Unsanctioned. It was just great for the Canadian crowd to see two Canadian guys beat the crap out of each other. All right, let's talk about the main event here, the Elimination Chamber match for the men. The winner being the number one contender for Cody Rhodes' title. So we already know, we talked about John Cena, CM Punk, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and Seth freaking Rollins. As we already talked about, John Cena wins this. But let's talk about the match itself. I thought this match did a great job of setting up and just outlining all these future WrestleMania matches there for this. Just the way it played out and who got eliminated by who. It really just set up all these feuds for WrestleMania. A great build there. So I like CM Punk in his pod, he was fixing the lights.
Oh yeah,
a couple times. And I mean, I thought it started off a little slow in the beginning. But as we saw, eventually Damian Priest eliminated Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was pissed off. Actually, here, let me look at the actual order here. So yeah, Drew McIntyre got eliminated by Damian Priest. He was pissed off. Then he Claymore Damian Priest, and Logan Paul took advantage of it with a frog splash, eliminated Damian Priest, and then Logan Paul's in there. Like CM Punk was beating the crap out of him. Ultimately, CM Punk eliminated Logan Paul.
I loved it when Punk's the last one to come out of his pod, and so the timer's going down, and he, like, Logan Paul's standing there on the side waiting for him, and Punk's waiting to come out, and he just yells, "You know I'm next, open the dang door."
Oh yes. Yeah, when he was the last one. It's like, I am the last one, just open it. Let me out there. You don't need like the big old things there. Actually, side note, before I forget, WWE now has 3 like big cage type matches. Elimination Chamber, Hell in a Cell, and War Games. Out of those 3, which one do you think is the most brutal out of all of them?
Hell in a Cell, just because they use weapons.
Okay.
I mean, War Games, they bring in weapons.
Yeah.
I just feel like with Hell in a Cell, it's cooler because it's like you
fight to the death.
Well, it's like with the weapons thing. It's you see where the weapons are going when with War Games, because like they grab them, they put them in, they set them to the side, and then they go back to them eventually. With Hell in a Cell, it's like you have that open area around the ring where you just go grab a weapon at any time.
And Elimination Chamber, it's still like a regular match inside a cage, but there's
we're never gonna get the ECW chamber match again where they had the weapons hanging and stuff.
That's right. So Logan Paul, like I said, to his credit, like he showed off his athleticism in this match. He was great. I like how Logan Paul hit the buckshot lariat and CM Punk took him out.
Yeah,
it made me think of Hangman Adam Page. Like Logan Paul and Hangman are both ones who do the buckshot lariat, and so I like how Logan Paul tried to do it and CM Punk knocked him out. So it's like, that move is never going to be taken me. No, not against me. But I really thought this match really picked up when it was down to the final 3 of Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and John Cena.
Hey, and Punk got his payback from the Rumble where Logan eliminated him.
That's right. Yes, exactly. And so what I enjoyed about this was like you had CM Punk, John Cena staring at each other, and they're like enjoying the moment, embracing the moment, and like they hug each other, and they're ready to like start going at it. But then Seth Rollins stopped that, took that away from the crowd. Like, you're not going to get this moment right now. I'm taking it away. Eventually, we did see it when they did take out Seth Rollins. Finally, Punk Cena one-on-one. We got that moment finally. But I like they took their time to get to that moment. Let Seth Rollins interrupt that for a second there. When it came down to those final 3, I thought it was really picked up great there. As far as I like how Cena and CM Punk hit like their finishers on Seth Rollins to take him out. And I really enjoyed how this was filmed. When CM Punk was laying there after CM Punk eliminated Seth Rollins, they're zoomed in on CM Punk. He's laying on the ropes, middle rope, and out of nowhere, you see CM Punk stomp. Hit my microphone. Stomps CM Punk on the head, falls back. John Cena takes advantage of the moment. You know, you can say that was like a heelish.
And I like that he like waited for a second, dude. He was like, "Oh, he's down. I gotta get him."
And yeah, he put him in the attitude adjustment. STF, sorry. STF, and then yeah, CM Punk passed out and John Cena wins. So with this match, we saw Drew McIntyre get eliminated by Damian Priest. Then he cost Damian Priest his spot. So that's definitely looks like that's gonna be a match. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, WrestleMania. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, that whole situation, as we saw on Raw this week.
Oh, that was great.
So the beginning of Raw this week, CM Punk comes out, cuts an amazing promo, calls out John Cena, calls out The Rock, says, John Cena, I always knew you were fake. And this just proved it. And then The Rock, you're both bald, and calling them out. What'd you think of CM Punk's promo from Raw open up this week?
So I wouldn't call it Pipe Bomb 2.0 like some people on social media are, but I will say it was one of the better promos we see from anybody in any company. When CM Punk is in a mood like that, there's no one better than him on the microphone. Maybe almost ever.
I loved it. And then, Seth Rollins comes out, big old brawl over the place. It was announced that next week, Madison Square Garden, they're going to have a steel cage match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. I'm guessing it's going to have a wonky finish. I think Roman Reigns gets involved. That's when Roman Reigns makes his big return, gets revenge after Seth Rollins for the double curb stomp at the Royal Rumble on the steel steps. And I wonder if that's going to lead to the triple threat that's been rumored between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. I think that's how it's going to play out there.
And everyone still thinks the favor is going to play into that, but I don't know what kind of a favor. I don't know. I'm confused how they get this to a triple threat.
Yeah, and maybe that favor can be still saved for something else down the road.
Exactly.
So yeah, John Cena wins, took advantage of Seth Rollins taking out CM Punk to put on the submission hold. So John Cena wins. We talked about it. Then it led to the heel turn when Cody Rhodes came out, The Rock came out with Travis Scott. And that whole moment right there, in Elimination Chamber, John Cena turning heel, and we already discussed in detail about that. So Elimination Chamber overall, great show, very fun. Let's see, from Raw though, am I missing anything else? So we talked about CM Punk, his promo, brawl with Seth Rollins. We saw Gunther defeat Otis. So
that was a little fun.
Yeah, and then a little backstage stuff from the previous week led to this match, and ultimately Jay makes the save, or comes out. So it's just trying to add some more moments, momentum for Gunther versus Jay. Like Gunther's telling Jay, I'm just gonna kick everyone's ass until our match comes up there. Lia Valkyria defeated Ivy Nile for the women's IC title. That's the whole thing. American Made are trying to win gold while Chad Gable is away.
They keep failing.
Yeah, they fail. So Ivy Nile loses here. We saw the War Raiders defeat American Made in the tag team match.
For the second time.
Yes. And Chad Gable, we saw the video package. He's down in Mexico trying to find this person that's going to teach him how to beat Lucha Libres or Luchadors.
$500.
Yes. So who do you think is this big person that's going to train Chad Gable to defeat Luchadors?
I don't think it's anybody. I think we didn't see what was in the box. I think it's going to be a mask that gives him some sort of power.
Yes, I think it's a mask. He's going to return as a masked wrestler. He paid $500 for.
Oh no, the return of Mr. America.
Oh my God. So that'll be interesting. So so we saw that with American Made, their two matches with Ivy Nile, and then American Made with the War Raiders. Let's see. So Penta attacked Ludwig Kaiser during his promo. Let's see.
Penta not alone for long.
That's what I was gonna ask. So you alerted to me that Rey Fenix no longer on the AEW roster page.
Officially released.
It was officially released. Wow.
Officially released. That's the word. Tony Khan talked about it on the media call Thursday. And he was just like, he didn't say it's like Phoenix specifically or anything, but he was asked about the recent releases, and he was just like, it's a case-by-case situation, but it all came together, and it was like it was just time. He wouldn't really say anything specific about anything other than it was just time. He goes, I know I'm going to get asked why now, but now just felt like the right time to do it. And certain situations all just came together at the same time. But the way I look at it is a case-by-case situation.
Interesting.
Like, okay, Tony, it's just you don't want to answer a question again.
just want to get it done out of the way. So with that being said, we see Penta going up against Ludwig and Pete Dunne. It's like 2-on-1 right now. So you think this is going to lead to Rey Fenix making the save to help his brother?
Is Pete Dunne still involved when Ludwig pinned him last week in the triple threat? Kind of like, I felt like that just pushed Pete Dunne out.
Yeah, let's see. That's right. Yeah. He stole the triple threat win last week. That's right. That's
why I was just like, well, is Pete Dunne really involved? I would love this if Phoenix comes in, him and Penta get a couple tag team wins, and then they go, hey, we want to challenge the War Raiders at WrestleMania. That would be fun. Put them in a tag title match, because I looked it up, and they've so the War Raiders versus the Lucha Bros, like that version of a match has only happened once, and I think it was in like the Crash in Mexico.
Okay.
Now, granted, Phoenix has shared the ring with the War Raiders 4 or 5 times, Penta only once.
Okay.
But those two teams together would be a great match.
Yeah. Let me just look here. Let's see. After War Raiders, Io Sky. Okay, we talked about that. Okay, so last thing I just want to touch on real quick. Okay, let's look at the direction for WrestleMania 41. We technically kind of know 4 matches on paper right now. What are the other matches? So last year's WrestleMania 40, it was 7 matches each day. It was 7 night 1. Technically, it was 6 matches night 2, but the cash-in was counted as a match as well, so which makes it 7. So right now for WrestleMania 41, we know Cody versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship, Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Championship, Tiffany Stratton defending the WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, as of this moment, defending against Bianca Belair the WWE Women's World Championship. IC title, I'm curious what's going to happen. We saw Braun Breaker was cutting a promo, went to confront Finn Balor, who came out in the ring to talk to him. Judgment Day, try attacking him. So I wonder if that's the direction, Braun versus Finn for the IC title at WrestleMania, or do you still think a multi-man match? I still think Sheamus needs to win the title.
I don't know, because it's like it feels like every week they're doing something different with Braun Breaker, and it's just odd and weird.
Yeah, so I don't know what the direction is.
What's odd and weird is Tiffany and Charlotte are not listed on the website under the WrestleMania page.
Really? Okay.
I assume the match is happening, but for some reason it's got Cody Cena, Io Bianca, Gunther Jay. For some reason there's nothing there for Tiffany and Charlotte. I don't know if I'm just looking too much into it, but it's not there for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay. Haven't made the graphic yet.
Well, it's like they have a paragraph, they have like the write-up for each match, like, oh, John Cena challenged Cody Rhodes, and then the write-up, Io and Bianca, the write-up, and then it's like there's 4 things there, but the 4th thing is get your 2-day combo tickets now.
Yeah, okay, I see right now too.
That's weird.
Okay.
I doubt the match is off. We probably have heard it. We would have heard something by now, but
so yeah, IC title, it's gonna be interesting. Is it gonna be Finn Balor? I still think Sheamus needs to win it. That's the story there.
And the other thing is, like, they've teased Penta, but now is Penta going to be a singles guy going into Mania, or is he going to be a tag team guy going into WrestleMania now that Phoenix? So it's like, because everything that people are saying is Phoenix could be in at any moment. Phoenix is coming, and expect him in any, like, we could expect next week in Madison Square Garden for all we know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Okay, so the IC title, that's kind of up in the air with Braun Breaker. What's for him? The women's IC title, like, they haven't really given much story. I mean, I know Ivy Nile and Valkyria happened, Lyra Valkyria happened this Monday on Raw. I hope they give her some compelling storyline going into WrestleMania, a match there. The U.S. title, I mean, Shinsuke's still champion right now, but it looks like him and LA Knight are going to reignite their feud. I mean, on SmackDown, what was it? What would have been last week?
So what happened with all of that? It was supposed to be Shinsuke versus LA Knight for the title.
Oh, that's right. They're doing a number 1 contenders thing. Yeah.
So what happened was, I can't remember the wrestler's name, but there was a wrestler in Japan that Shinsuke was like as close as brothers with, that passed away. And so he got the day off to whatever he needed for that.
That's right.
So that's why they changed it to the mini 1-night tournament, just to say LA Knight, who's the number 1 contender, is still the number 1 contender.
Yeah, because Jacob Fatu, because originally supposed to be solo.
Yeah.
Let me see here. What was okay? Jacob Fatu defeated Andrade to qualify for the number one contenders triple threat match. Okay, that's right. So it was 1-on-1 because he took Solo gave him that. So what do you think about that? Solo gave him his spot. He's like, take my spot.
That was interesting. I don't know if it was Solo saying I don't want to work tonight, or if it was him saying, I know. So you can take a couple different ways, but I think the one way it may have been is, I know I haven't been around recently. You maybe can't trust me right now. You feel here, I'll give you this opportunity to fight for a title or something to show my loyalty back to you. And then he said it again, as he said the week before, I love you, Jacob.
That's right. And then LA Knight defeated Santos Escobar. So he's the other, another qualifier for the triple threat match for the U.S. title. And then Carmelo Hayes defeated Braun Strowman in a DQ. So, okay, let me look at the preview for SmackDown tomorrow. They have listed.
No, just Cody. That's all that's listed.
So LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Jacob Fatu triple threat. The winner becomes the new number one contender for the U.S. title against Shinsuke. Do we know that will be the WrestleMania match? Then have they clarified specifically?
I think they do. They're going to do it before WrestleMania because the match again was supposed to happen last week on Raw or SmackDown. So I assume whenever Shinsuke's able to come back, they'll just do the match. Okay. I don't think they wait. If they were going to do it last week, I don't think they're waiting 6 more weeks.
So that's my thing. It's like, then, is the U.S. title going to be involved at WrestleMania?
It's got to be. And so I think LA Knight wins the title back and then he moves on.
Okay.
And so he's the champion going into WrestleMania.
Cool. And then women U.S. title, Chelsea Green. I like how, so her and
Sol Ruka pinned her on NXT.
I know. I missed that one. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Sol Ruka going to get a U.S. title shot?
Ooh. Okay, so Mia Yim and Chelsea Green are having is it the street fight this week? Wasn't that the plan?
I think they already did all that.
Oh, no, Michin, was it last week on SmackDown? Had the kendo stick backstage with Nick Aldis, right?
I believe so.
Let's see. Micha kendos her way into a Chelsea Green title match. Yes, that was backstage. Because, she hit Nick Aldis on accident, right? Because then Chelsea Green ducked and she hit Nick Aldis. So it looks like at some point Chelsea Green Michin are going to get a third match here.
Yeah, because they were all fighting over the kendo stick and Piper tried to take it from her. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to be next week or tomorrow's episode or not there. So I'm just looking ahead there. So I wonder if the women's U.S. title is going to be at WrestleMania in some capacity.
Okay, see, I didn't. I don't even remember the segment. I'm sitting looking at it here now on WWE's website.
Yeah, you see that.
Was that a digital exclusive segment or something? Because I don't remember that from the show.
I saw it on the show. I think
maybe I just don't remember it then.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I thought the whole Michin stuff was done and over with, but who knows?
Yeah, so they're just kind of dragging this out. I mean, that's another thing. It's like there are other women on that roster. Give them some story, or give Chelsea some fresh opponents, or the IC title. Give her some fresh opponents for Lyra as well. And then the tag titles. I'm curious how they're going to play out on WrestleMania.
Multi-team for SmackDown. It's going to be all them teams. It's going to be DIY defending against Motor City Machine Guns, Los Garza, Pretty Deadly, and then I think Street Profits.
Yeah. And then for Raw, I mean, War Raiders defeat American Made. But is War Raiders going to defend those titles at WrestleMania in some capacity? I hope so.
And Lucha Bros.
Yeah, and then outside of that, so that's all the titles in WWE in the main roster. So that's 10 matches right there. So the outside of that, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, we talked about that's triple threat. Logan Paul, it looks like AJ Styles is going to confront him next week. So I'm guessing, is that going to be the WrestleMania build then? Starting
probably
CM Punk. I'm sorry, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. And then the other thing I could think of is Bayley.
So is that match at Mania or Stand and Deliver?
Yeah, with Roxanne
Bayley and
Perez.
Roxanne. Also,
at this point, I'm just saying at this point you could probably do WrestleMania, but then right there that becomes 13 matches.
And you got Naomi and Jade.
Oh, that's right. Let me write that down.
Also, according to Meltzer, he did put in last week's Observer. He said many fans think it's going to be Solo versus Jacob Fatu, but he was told no. But Meltzer said he was told one of those guys is already penciled in for a match that's not against the other. but he
Okay.
doesn't know exactly what.
Probably Jacob. At this point, you can't have Jacob not on WrestleMania.
Right.
Now.
But he said it's not Jacob versus Solo, and one of those already has another match planned.
Okay.
So I don't know what that would be, unless maybe one of them is getting a U.S. title shot against LA Knight or something.
So let's talk about that real quick. So right now, that's 15 matches. If we have all 10 titles being defended, and then we have 5 non-titles being worked at WrestleMania. So if it's 7-7, though, you're gonna have to drop one. So that's why I'm worried. Some of these titles maybe are not going to be defended at WrestleMania. Maybe one of the tag titles. I don't know. It's a little. It kind of bums me out because I would like to see all the titles being defended at WrestleMania. But then again, you got to go what's the most compelling storylines at this point. So, we'll just have to wait and see. We got 6 weeks of storytelling and see how things play out. See how SmackDown goes tomorrow night.
And then do we get the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on that SmackDown before? Because they've been doing that the last couple of years on the SmackDown.
Yeah. So
I still wish they would do one night the men's battle royal on the pre-show and the other night the women's battle royal on the pre-show. Totally. That would be nice.
So that way all the wrestlers competing still can wrestle in front of that big crowd in the stadium, even though people are filing in at that point before the main show gets started. But yeah, you're right. I to have that big show feel. So
because we haven't had the women's battle royal in I don't know how many years now.
And that's the other thing too, though. But they got SmackDown. You got 3 hours, and they're trying to sell this whole package. You got the go home episode of SmackDown into WrestleMania in Las Vegas. You got Stand Deliver Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and then you got the Monday Night Raw after.
So we haven't heard anything about Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and you say 3 hour SmackDown. So I don't think that Hall of Fame is after SmackDown now. Now you think about it. Think about it.
Part of the show.
Well, no, because unless they do it as a 3rd hour is the Hall of Fame. I don't think they do that though. But no, because think about it. The last 2-3 years, Hall of Fame has been after SmackDown.
Yeah, I know. I sat through last
3 hours. If you have a 3 hour SmackDown, I don't think you do then another 4. Because what was last year's Hall of Fame? An hour and a half, 2 hours.
It went really long,
and so you're not going to do that. Granted, they're West Coast time, they're Pacific time, so it's easier. But I don't think they do 3 hours of SmackDown and then another 2 hours of Hall of Fame in the same night. And so I think that's why they haven't announced anything. I would, if it was me, I would maybe do it as a special attraction thing at like WWE World on the Thursday night.
Okay.
Last year.
Yeah. We'll see. Because now Triple H has been announced going inducting into the Hall of Fame. Natural disasters was reported earlier today.
And then Michelle McCool.
Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's cool.
That's the 3 so far.
Okay.
Wait, no, once you were running all that down, you're like, we have the 3 hour SmackDown. And I was like, wait, 3 hour SmackDown before Mania. They can't do Hall of Fame that same night. It's just way too long, way too late.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna be built up for WrestleMania. I mean, there's some other opponents we haven't thought of yet, scenarios, but I think we kind of nailed it all right now based on all the major storylines.
Did you say Randy Kevin?
Oh, I did not. Oops. Thank you. Okay, so that's 17 right now. So yeah, if they do 14 total, 7-7.
Wait, and then women's tag titles? They're not going to put Liv's.
Oh my God, you're right.
They're not going to have Liv missing.
Women's tag. Yep, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah, Liv is a star.
Here's an off the wall idea.
You're right.
Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for the tag titles.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. So like that's 18 possible matches for WrestleMania, but if they do 7-7, so 4 are not going to happen. So,
they can do as many as they want, to be honest. Think about it. It's a West Coast show, so they can technically go later if they wanted to.
Yeah. But the other thing too, my thing is like, if you cut 4 matches based on this list we have, that could fill up SmackDown.
True.
So you got to think about, I'm sure Triple H is like, we got to fill up SmackDown with matches. So stuff that could be like on the chopping block of being at WrestleMania can happen at
Naomi.
SmackDown. Maybe, but see that's the kind of a bummer. I'm sure there's some people like wants to wrestle on the main stage at WrestleMania,
and it's like Liv Morgan is such a big star right now. I see her being on the Mania card.
Yeah,
so it's like,
what do you cut? I tell you that if you're watching right now,
U.S. title match on SmackDown.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean women's U.S. or IC. Yeah, leave a comment right now in the conversation or down below. Who do you think is gonna be wrestling on that go home episode of SmackDown at WrestleMania weekend? Out of all the matches we listed out, the 18 there, which 4 do you potentially cut? Or is there a matchup that we're forgetting about? Go ahead and leave a comment right now. So, all right, we've talked enough. We talked almost an hour and a half now. So I think we covered it all from a very busy week in the pro wrestling world for WWE. So much going on. And yeah, a lot of fun. So on that note, let's start wrapping things up. Tim, thank you for your help once again.
Always.
And where can the Kliqsters find you online?
So you can find most of my work at Pro Wrestling Unlimited, whether that's on YouTube at Pro Wrestling Unlimited or all our other social channels at PW Unlimited. You can also find my personal stuff at Timmy Buddy. So yeah, always fun talking wrestling with you.
Here we are, man. It's the road to WrestleMania. There's no more speed bumps. That's the other thing too. Sorry, before I forget, I didn't get to say this last time. People are complaining, oh, the build sucks and, you know, it hasn't been that good so far. First off, like I said, you got Elimination Chamber you got to get through. Keep in mind, up until a couple years ago, remember back in the day, it was Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and then was it Fastlane as well before WrestleMania?
Well, they would throw other. Some years it was Fastlane, some years it was Saudi, like when Goldberg won the belt.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like in the past, sometimes we only had like 3 weeks to build up WrestleMania after the previous premium live event got done with. So we have 6 weeks now to really enjoy things. There's a lot of stories that can tell. So yeah, just enjoy the ride, as The Rock says, the final boss. So
yeah, we might have some more twists and turns. We don't know.
Exactly. So I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram at Baby Huey 83. For everything else at In The Kliq related, please follow us at In The Kliq. If you want to email me, inthethe@gmail.com. If you're watching this podcast, thank you so much. Give this a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the podcast. Also, you know, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review. Spotify, does Spotify do reviews at all?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know you can comment.
Yeah. Leave a great review, positive review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Please, just all that interaction helps out. We've been on a roll lately, with just episodes and interviews. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out all that good stuff. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line, because Huey said so.